Holy crap. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. I have to lower the volume. Oops. Hello, welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. This is lower bracket, round 2 for the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 4 tournament. Once again, we have Woofer CFG and Mr. Original Elijah on the commentary today, which hasn't happened in a while. So hell yeah, let's go. Let's do this. We have Colfra versus Shizuka. And this promises to be a great race. I am glad I got to restream it right as I woke up. Again, I will see you in a bit, but for now I'm gonna leave it with the commentary, with your commentators, because I don't want to do this.
Thanks, Pogi.
Yeah.
Taking the last second restream so that people can actually watch this. It's gonna be real exciting. Winner's gonna go on to play Gabri in losers bracket top 12. And then the winner of that is going to play Tanjo or CS or Slam. You know, that whole part of losers bracket is really stacked and scary. And I'm just glad that I'm not going to be anywhere near there.
True. Lots of really good runners that you just mentioned. Definitely. Also, I guess I should point out to you, Pogi, that Mr. Original Elijah is my father. So you can just call me Original Elijah.
Is your father like the original Elijah and you're not the original? Is that what?
It's sort of a title, like it's passed down. You know, it's like kind of like the Pope, you know, something like that.
Oh, okay. Do you feel like the word original is a little deceptive here? Do you think you're lying to the people?
Well, that's a good question.
All right, I guess we are starting now. We are on Shark Island. Love to see Sands from Colfra. I absolutely respect that model choice.
Yeah, I like the others too.
So for most random starting islands, you really can't do anything, and Shark Island is one of them. I mean, we see Cyclos there, but with no bow, they're just gonna dip out and leave. Shizuka deciding to go to Mother and Child before Windfall, which is interesting. So getting a shard there, but that's not going to really matter for any of their checks. So Colfra will be able to come back there whenever and get that shard.
Yeah, the interesting thing about shards is we need them to beat the game, but they don't actually help us do anything. So like finding them is like, okay, at least I didn't waste time here, but at the same time, it's kind of like, this doesn't really help me immediately.
So those 200 rupees are pretty significant because Colfra is going to be able to avoid getting the other 20 rupees on the way. So that'll just be enough money for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of stuff with money, but that is definitely enough to do anything you could possibly want in these settings. And look at that, like we were saying, more shards that aren't going to help us do anything right.
Yeah, something interesting to consider with the shards is we know that the randomizer places all of those at the exact same time when it's generating the seed. So if you know that 2 of the shards are early, there's actually a pretty good chance that the other shards are going to be early as well. So if they end up looking for a go mode shard at the very end, they might want to look for earlier spheres instead of like deep in Earth Temple. But also, who knows? It's totally unpredictable.
True. It's one of those things to where you're kind of like, you're slightly increasing your chances, but also you can't really know for sure, so... But I suppose that's a lot of what a randomizer is, giving yourself the best chance, I suppose, right? You want to make the plays that are going to give you the best chance to win.
So far, not too much on Windfall in terms of actual items that do things. So it'll be really interesting to see where the runners decide to actually go next. Outset
Yeah.
is typically like a pretty popular choice.
Yeah, that's one of the kind of nice things about these settings is sort of in season 3 there was that like awkward beginning part where everyone was just doing windfall checks and getting the same thing, and we kind of have that here, but it just takes like 10 less minutes to get through, so it means we can get into some more like interesting routing decision making much more quickly.
Yeah, typically at the start of every seed, most runners are going to go to Windfall and then sail to Northern Ferry and get the submarine there. Because you can get all the checks on Windfall and then you can just clear that submarine and there's nothing else on Northern Ferry. So there's like no reason not to do that route, really. But then after that is where the route divergence starts for pretty much everyone.
And we're going to see Colfra start heading towards that sub right now. One thing I suppose to keep in mind, it may look like Shizuka is a bit behind, but we have to remember that he did already check the mother and child chest to get that shard there. So that's one thing you have to sort of think about when trying to determine who is and who isn't ahead. It's still obviously super early in this one, but yeah, that's definitely something worth keeping in mind. Especially when the runners start to do, and if they do different routes, they sort of diverge. You want to kind of keep in your head, well, this runner's done this place and this place, and this runner's done this place and this place, and you know, how does that balance it back out? Or
you still have 11 minutes to try to make a channel point prediction. So pay attention and try to figure out who might be winning.
True, yeah. You might be able to gain some very useful information in the next 11 minutes. It's a nice rope swinging.
Really clean from Colfra. Definitely faster than how I do it. Takes notes.
It's the good thing about commentating. You can sort of...
Oh, I've seen that before. It just scares me. You know, every time you fall down in the sub, it just messes you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just something to think about later, to add a little bit of fear.
True. Like Shizuka, opting for the slightly safer, just to grab the last rope as well.
So Colfra is now going to get this shard at Mother and Child, and we're actually going to have the runners having done the same checks.
Back resynchronized. Ish. We'll see where we're going next. Looks like outset for Colfra. Definitely not a bad play.
Where I would go.
Yeah. And Shizuka going to Tower of the Gods. I'm guessing for 6-eye sub?
Yeah, I think you're going to be right about that. And really, this play is interesting because the 6-eye sub with Leaf or with the Master Sword can be significantly faster than doing it with no items. Kind of depends on how the moblins go for you. So it's really going to come down to whether Shizuka ends up finding a useful item here that's going to speed up other checks.
Yeah, Colfra going for kind of sticking with what one might consider the more safer route of getting checks that don't really require you to have any items, or I should say checks that can't be sped up later by other items. Like just these open chests here at outset. Shizuka getting the good stick RNG. Moblin dropping it after 1 hit. It's always nice. Much better than it taking, I don't know, 4 or 5 pots and barrels, possibly having to save and quit. I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone before, but... you know. Suppose it could.
You know, these seeds where the beginning's empty are really scary because one of the runners can just do the checks in a different order and find that one useful item that's in Sphere 0 that's available from the beginning of the game. That red rupee is going to be potentially huge for Colfra.
Yes, it's true.
Not actually huge, but you know, just a little boost to his winning chances.
And sort of knowing what we know now, like seeing that Colfra hasn't really gotten anything from outset yet, it means that one of these other Sphere Zero checks is going to be what leads us to our progress. Whatever is going to open up for the seed.
It doesn't have to be a Sphere Zero check. I mean, Colfra can find something in Jaboon's Cavern that opens up the entire game. It might not be in logic, but you want to find the items however you can.
Right, and this is another check that doing this roll clip here is like the fastest way to do it. So if you can do the roll clip, there's no point in doing it later.
Yeah, just find the items, Jay. That's how I route, I think about where the items are and then I go to them. Skip 30 checks at the end. Wait. We don't talk about that.
All you have to do is not go to any of the unrequired islands.
That would be called cheating. Alright, so Colfra not doing Diamond Step early. I guess gonna just go to 6-eye sub. I mean, how many other Sphere Zero checks do we even have left right now? Paw Print, Crescent Moon, Angular Peak. Those are all kind of awkward though. Yeah,
the Bomb Island sub, I suppose. DRI and Crescent, or you said Crescent.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DRI Wind Shrine is a pretty easy one.
The Sphere Zero checks that you can't complete the island in a full clear, that's where it gets tricky. And that's the kind of seeds that, bring me physical pain at the beginning.
True. The worst ones are, going to the one on DRI isn't too bad, right? Because you can just warp right back there and you're right there. But, going to Crescent when you can't do the sub sucks because you have to warp somewhere and then sail all the way back. And the sailing is the part that takes forever.
Shizuka finally grabbing that big blade, which does do more damage than the torch.
Well, from not having a good time with getting the moblin to drop the stick.
I would think that the fire would actually damage the goblins more, because it might be a little bit more painful. Kind of disagree with how this game works.
Thanks.
Also, I absolutely relate to what's happening in Colfra right now.
Yeah.
This sub with no items is just awful.
I didn't see what Shizuka got there because I was too busy being distracted by the moblin.
Every time you throw a pot at a moblin, there's a 50-50 chance that he drops that spear. So if the spear doesn't drop, you just got unlucky.
Yep. Heartbreaking when it happens.
If you lose any time in this sub, it's just RNG. It's never your fault. Yeah, Jay, our meta is going to be avoiding mental energy drain. Elijah plays the same way too. I think we all get it. We don't want to suffer. We just want to play the game and have fun.
Oh, we're making the angular play on Shizuka's side? Is that what I'm seeing?
That's really bold.
Yeah.
Colfra, meanwhile, going to go to Dragon Roost.
Probably what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, here you just get the Wind Shrine, hope that it's actually something for once, and then from there, go to Paw Print, and then Crescent Moon.
Yep. Hopefully you're hoping to get maybe bombs or a bow here so you can finish off the DRI checks, but if not, yeah, you just go to Paw Print, I think.
I mean, even Bait Bag or Boomerang would work. There's so many items. Yeah, not that one. Fortunately, Tingle's Sticky Tingle statue does not let you get the chest on top of the boulder. So, Colfra going to sail to Paw Print and get Salvage Core and 2 checks there. Where's that Crescent Moon?
I hope it's Paw Print.
I can't tell. The bit rate's too low. It's Paw Print. It's Paw Print.
Yeah, I think going by the direction the little compass is pointing.
You know, it's really interesting that they're like playing a co-op strategy right now.
It is.
I mean, they are completely avoiding each other's checks.
Some people are germaphobes and don't like hand holding.
That's fine. You know, I
Nothing
respect
wrong
it.
with that. Nothing wrong with that. Din's Pearl. I don't think we have taught G today, so that's not going to be helpful.
Yeah, the only pearl that's useful without Tower of the Gods and logic is Farore's Pearl because it leads to a piece of mail. But you know, when you see Din's Pearl early, that makes you think, you know, maybe Farore's going to be early.
True.
It's not really helpful information at all, but it's something you'll know.
I think I remember you saying this, although I might be misremembering.
Yeah.
The pearls are placed the same as the shards, right, all together?
Yeah, exactly. So pearls are a group, the Tingle statues are a group, and the shards are a group. So once you see one of them, you have a little bit of a hint as to where the other items are. And there's the double magic, which doesn't unlock anything either.
Yeah, nice. Another nice one of those things. It's like, hey, this is really great to have, but it doesn't actually really help us at all until we get leaf or maybe fire and ice arrows.
So what's left in Sphere 0? I mean, Dragon Roost, right? And Crescent Moon?
Yeah. Oh, we have. Oh, yeah, Dragon Roost. The actual dungeon is in today. I just noticed that.
Shizuka finally going to outset. Gonna be very pleased with a completely empty island.
Yeah. This is a rough beginning.
Saving the dopamine for an hour in. It's one of those seeds.
True. There, I suppose it is worth noting. There's a couple. If our runners didn't want to. Oh.
All right.
There we go.
So if PK Slam was in this situation, he would just rush Dragon Roost. I would assume that Colfra would decide to check Grandma.
I suppose too, another thing I guess is worth mentioning. There's a couple out of logic things our runners could still do if they wanted to try and get some more items before being forced into Dragon Roost. Like you could do Diamond Step early, you could check Islet of Steel without bombs, and you could check the Cabana chest if you really wanted to on the top of the waterfall without anything. Just hopefully get something for DRC, but
yeah, DRC with no items is kind of terrible. I like going in with the leaf, grapple, bow, bombs, or fire arrows, and a sword. But we have a bottle.
True, once we save Grandma, at least then we'll be able to have infinite health and not die, I suppose.
Yeah, which honestly might be necessary with no weapons.
Yeah. Shizuka getting that roll clip very quickly. Very nice. Oh, everybody's favorite part of the seed. Epic back and forth puppet Ganon fights be damned. We saved Grandma, hooray.
You know, Grandma's only role in this game is to be a chef. You ever think about that?
In a chair, do nothing until you bring her stuff.
Yeah, and then she just cooks you some soup.
Kind of a toxic mentality, honestly.
And you know, is her soup even that good? You never come back for more.
Yeah.
All you do is pretend to drink it.
True.
Alright, what does Grandma have?
Gotta be something, right?
Alright. You know, with that item, do you check one more chest in Paw Print or just go straight into Dragon Roost? Or maybe top a tree branch at Forest Haven?
Yeah, personally, I'd probably do Paw Print because you could technically also do the Crescent sub now, too. You could get both of those.
Alright, going to Headstone sub with just the grappling hook, while that is in logic, I don't know about that play. It would scare me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried hitting those rats.
Oh.
Just grapple.
It's rough.
I don't think it should be in logic.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever go into DRC with just the grappling hook and, like, literally nothing else. Because, like, it's one of those things that it's technically possible, but... Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, you can do spike jump without a sword, it just sucks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Same. It's like one of those things to where if the logic is forcing you in there, then okay, you have to do it. But there's places to go right now. You can avoid that sort of headache if you want to, or at least you can hold on
Delay
to
the headache.
Yeah, delay the headache. Hold on to the hope that you might not have to deal with the headache.
And that's really my strategy when early on in a seed I don't have something like the Deku Leaf. I'll just stay in the overworld where I'm comfortable as long as I can. Stay away from those scary dungeons.
Yeah. I think I said that during a race once. I went into a place and I was like, I went into floor 1 of Top G without leaf, and I got something like it was like the grapple or like a tingle statue and the grapple or something like that. And I saved and quit, and I left. And I was like, nope, get me out of here, because I think I didn't have a sword yet too. And I was like, take me back to Overworld where I'm safe, where the mean dungeon can't hurt me.
Yeah, because once you enter that dungeon, you kind of need to commit to it. Because you really want a full clear, or at least clear as much as possible. And if you don't have the items that you want, it can take a really long time, and it can be just a huge time loss. But in Overworld, you can potentially find more items. Now, obviously, in dungeons, you can find more items as well. But there's, like, no guarantees.
Yeah, especially with a dungeon like DRC or Forbidden Woods, where if you do have to leave and eventually need to come back into it later, it takes a really long time to get back into those dungeons. The entrances...
Of course, you use the inner dungeon warp pot.
True.
Which I kind of doubt we'll see in this seed.
Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense, unfortunately.
So this happens to me whenever I do one of these swordless. I just keep picking up pots, and then they keep getting broken by the Bacalbas. And I'm like, wow, I love this game.
Same. Literally happened to me the other day. Oh, and then they tap you, and then you drop the stick, and then they instantly...
Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not the one running this. Wow. Well, that was cool. None of them dropped their weapons.
Oh, man. At least Colfra has soup. Just gotta use the power of friendly fire.
There we go. Good spin. You
Fun fact,
really want one of those big blades, because it does way more damage.
Fun fact, in the tourney settings, we play with friendly fire turned on. So kind of convenient.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that casual players play with that off.
Yeah.
It just kind of ruins the whole thing.
It makes it, yeah, it adds another level of challenge. The enemies, they feel more coordinated, right? They work together better against you specifically. New Tingle statues. Probably means there's a lot of Tingle statues in DRC.
Yeah, imagine that there's just 2 more Tingle statues in DRC. You know, there's got to be more than that, right? Well, I guess they can clear.
Yeah.
With the grapple.
Yeah, I think Colfra going to be checking that paw print and possibly even the headstone or the crescent sub here. Although this is potentially committing to the fabled 3 trips to paw print. But
well, the seed was rolled by a bot. I'm pretty sure I typed the roll seed command.
We might be going into DRC. Or are we just checking mail for for Shizuka here. I feel like this is a going into DRC play because...
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to check mail, you're not gonna go here.
Yeah. Definitely not the most convenient mailbox to just check.
But even if he was just checking mail, I mean, you're at this mailbox and you get a grappling hook. I mean, wouldn't you just be tempted to go into DRC?
Temptation is very dangerous, mistress. I mean, it could be the play. DRC could be completely loaded. Or you could get a bow and...
You know, that's why we stay in the overworld.
Yep.
It's so comfortable out here. You know, we get bows, we get leaves, get boomerangs and swords. In DRC, all you get is tinkle statues, and not all of them are sticky.
And small keys. Don't forget those. There's a lot of those in there, too. We are going to see the DRC play on Shizuka's side. Honestly, just having the bow for DRC is kind of huge. Being able to shoot down the platform is... That's a pretty significant way to be able to save time in DRC, at least in my perspective. Like, or at least when I'm running, that's how I think. I'd still want a sword, though. And not like I want a melee weapon. Like, oh yeah, Skullhammer's fine. No, I want a sword.
And you know, the nice thing for Colfra is also having that bow means actually being able to do those Dragon Roost Island checks. And maybe there's just something else that's useful for Dragon Roost Cavern.
True. Lots to do. And doing this room without a weapon too. Definitely not as much fun. Like, swordless combat is so much fun.
Yeah, maybe we should go back to start with Hero Sword.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Oh, there we go.
Option B is dead. We are back to option E.
Yeah, that is a fair point there, Claire. Oh, we got a DRC small key though. That's kind of cool. You don't see that there every day.
We don't use shield to disarm because we're bad. Is it consistent? I thought like if the bokoblins hit you, it doesn't always make them drop their weapon.
Yeah, it doesn't always make them drop the weapon.
But with the pod, it is consistent. Assuming you can actually hit it.
Yeah, the bokoblins at least, they're not like moblins. They don't have the 50% chance. The bokoblins will always drop when they're hit with a pod or something. We see a little bit more of the dungeon here. I'm guessing we see a small key in one of these two checks because it's pretty likely.
Big key. You know, that's equivalent to 2 small keys. No, it's not. I wish that was true.
Imagine if the randomizer did work that way. So we're all gonna have to kind of work together here. While we're doing chest storage, we're gonna have to, you know, all work together and see if we can figure out what item we got.
See, this is why you don't use shield to disarm a bokoblin.
Yep.
Because he doesn't care. He's just gonna keep whacking you. Oh. Look at that strength.
Can the bokoblin break the barrier?
Apparently.
Yes.
Alright. Second barrier? Can bokoblins climb ledges?
That is a good question. That is a good question. Bokoblin can kill the choose for you. Remember, friendly fire is on. Oh, we have
Note
no
to mom. You know, without a delivery bag, kinda useless, but it's fine. Alright. Now, where does Colfra go? Entering Dragon Roost or side clubs? Or FCP sub, like that play.
Yeah, that's a good play.
So the flight control platform submarine is the one with the whiz robes. And the nice thing is, if you can stun lock them and get 2 snipes on each of them, you can actually kill them pretty quickly. So with a bow, it's not that bad.
On Colfra's side.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, definitely going to be nice to have in DRC.
Does Colfra go back to Paw Print and get the right chest?
At this point, honestly, with the items that he has, I would say you're probably pretty safe to do that after DRC. Although,
or just gamble it, right? Forever?
True. Never go back. Fully commit. Yeah. I mean, if you're Colfra, right, and you get the sword here, then I think you definitely just do DRC.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you don't, then there's
or
still...
Leaf even.
Yeah.
But I guess with Leaf you have other options too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd still probably hope for a sword.
The thing is with the overworld, if you find items, it just opens up more of the overworld. And you just stay there.
True.
No reason to leave.
There's a Tingle statue. The lava pit chest.
Because the thing is, most runners aren't gonna skip overworld checks.
True. Yeah.
At least not the ones that Colfra's been doing.
Yeah. Skipping a ton of overworld checks just like never happens. Like sometimes you get to the end and it's like, alright, I need 2 items and I have like 3 overworld locations and I have all of Forbidden Woods left, so I think I'll just go to Forbidden Woods. And then, yeah, maybe Forbidden Woods has everything and you're like, okay, sick. And then you don't have to do those overworld locations, but not the most common.
If we're gonna do Cliff Plateau and then Bird's Peak. So having that grappling hook means that he'll be able to clip into Bird's Peak without needing to do any kind of chest storage shenanigans there. Shouldn't be that bad. Also gonna check bomb mail here.
Yeah, I think one thing I'm a little guilty of is greeting Cliff Plateau for a sword or hammer.
Yeah, I mean, if you have grapple, it's not that bad, but otherwise I do like to put it off because that roll clip is a little scary.
Yeah, definitely. And nothing on our bomb mail today, unfortunately. Hope we're missing that jump. Kind of tricky jump. But it's super satisfying to be able to get it.
Just don't miss.
That is a good point. I'm gonna try that strat next time I do a race and it has, and I end up at Cliff Plateau.
But jumping in the water, taking a swim?
Oh, just not missing.
Oh, okay.
But we're going for a small key skip, I think.
Do you think Sans is waterproof? Being skeleton?
Probably, right?
Oh, this stuff with bombs is kinda bad.
Yeah, I'd probably just use bow. Even when you're low on arrows. I've kind of gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm okay with buying arrow refills if I need to when the game's only giving you a bow early as like your weapon.
Shizuka did small key skip, so he's gonna need to find a small key on Bird's Nest, right?
Correct. If there's no small key on Bird's Nest, then it's an unfortunate forced trip into the big key chest area.
Alright. I don't see any items.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think we have all the mail checks, so it's safe to assume that inside Cliff Plateau isn't a thing. But hey, we get to work together one more time here and see once Shizuka voids out, see what he got. Hoping for a small key in the Bird's Nest. Hey,
And
there
it
we go.
is.
Very nice.
You know, sometimes the gambas do pay off. Love to see it.
Now we get to void out and see if we have the fourth small key eventually here. Looks like he's not going to void out immediately, but if we do have the fourth small key, then that's going to mean that the big key chest in the basement could potentially be useful. If we do not have the fourth small key, then that means it's there.
Forgot Ghost Ship chart. Was that from the Cliff Plateau Cave?
Ooh, it could have been, because we know the DRI chest was the bombs, right? That is one thing that's really big to hear or to see Colfra check, because we know it's pretty easy to forget checking for Ghost Ship chart.
You know, until I even have the leaf, or if I'm like last locationing overworld, I'll often put off checking that for a while. But it is good to know for sure that that's an option.
It is worth noting, I think, that Shizuka did get the DRC small key, so that's 4 small keys that we found then.
I think the best time to check for a ghost ship chart is if you're at an island with a ghost ship and you just see it.
It definitely reminds
Can I enter it?
It's definitely a good reminder. And ghost ship chart with a bow is pretty not bad at all. As long as you can get the Wizro before it spawns something.
Yeah, don't want to fight a Stalfos or a Redo.
Yeah. So we're at everyone's favorite cave. We got double magic here earlier on Shizuka's side. You know, I completely missed it. Did Shizuka get anything in the dark room?
I was just about to ask you. Does anybody know?
Ooh, hitting the lava there.
You know, the commentators didn't say anything, so it's probably nothing. Wait,
Yeah.
where are the commentators? That's not good.
Uh-oh. Quick, everyone, just pretend it didn't happen. Oh, man. Pogi with his server mutes. I see how it is.
Dark room was a compass, according to the VOD.
Okay. So that means we're just missing the big key. So now you have the thought process, I suppose, on Shizuka's side. Are you going to open both of these, or are you going to save one for big key chest? It's like, ooh, a bait bag. That's cool. And, ooh, a shard. That's our 3rd shard, right? Oh, leaf in Bomb Island. Dang, we're kind of getting information overload here, everyone. That's kind of a nice combo in the Bomb Island sector, though. You have the leaf and the double magic right there, right next to each other.
Hey, you can use the leaf to skip the Bomb Island sub.
Yeah, exactly. Good strat.
Not an option.
You should definitely keep trying that until you get it. I believe in you.
I mean, what happens if you go up there? Is there a second chest?
Fabled Forbidden Chest. The ones that the devs don't want us to know about.
Like one of those ghost ship chests where if you jump slash on it, you crash the game. Yo, I'm down.
It has the Fable. That's the chest that takes you. That gives you the Wind Waker dive to Hyrule. When you open that chest, it gives you that. Boom. That's the item that's in that chest. So it's looking like either the big key chest is going to have big key in DRC for Shizuka, or there's going to be, or it's going to potentially be a progression. Because we're kind of out of options.
Colfra's gonna save a lot of time in Dragon Race, though.
Yeah. Even just the bow alone is a massive time save when you already have grappling hook.
Ooh, yeah, you can't break those boards.
Oh, you know what? That actually happened to me once, and you know what I did? I went down and I grabbed one of the Bokoblin swords and just threw it across the gap.
I mean, at that point, you should probably just do the storage, right?
Yeah. Not bad. And because then you can just go back to that door right there. I think my issue was that I didn't realize it until after I had opened the chest and I got up there. I was like, oh shit, what do I do now? There's little things like that you know you just don't think about until it happens to you in a race, right? And then you're like, oh wait a minute.
Colfra going ahead and actually buying arrows, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
I think see it.
I think I'm a fan of that. Because one time...
But you're a fan of capitalism, alright.
Just arrows in general.
Okay. That's fine.
Arrows are good. Not a fan of that other thing you mentioned. I'm not sure how Shizuka's going to be able to get down below. All the Bokoblin weapons, I think, fell into the lava.
Yeah, huh.
Yeah, this room is unfortunate. Now
Maybe Coral will give a hint. Because I sure need one.
Yeah. Oh,
there's that. Yeah. Very nice void from Colfra to get back to the start of Islet of Steel and end up in the boat.
I think we're out of... Oh, I thought that kind of was going to work there, that sort of jump. It looked kind of good. Oh, we got the stick. We got the stick now. Now we can do it. There's a couple ways to do that. You could, you can cut the bridge, or you can do the normal sort of jump slash thing. I think you can even light the ropes on fire if you have the stick on fire.
Look at those graphics. I mean, that bloom, straight out of Wind Waker HD.
True.
And it was all for nothing. You know, sometimes I think about, with like these really painful checks, how instead of going through the pain, I could just skip them. Just assume they'll be empty. And a lot of the time, that'll pay off.
True. I mean, the one way to think about it, right? We have, what, 140 locations in the logic, and like 20 required items to beat the game. So, you know.
I mean, if you just go to where the items are, you're gonna win.
Yeah. Very true. Do we have Big Key for Shizuka?
Yeah, we found it. It was the thing with the 2 small keys.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot
that,
about
like epic meme that we made, where every single person in the chat laughed simultaneously.
You're right.
That
you're
one.
Right. So now Big Key chest is potentially on the table. We're gonna see kind of Colfra be able to do a lot of this dungeon a little bit faster, but still not quite having what you would ideally want for that rope bridge room. So hopefully it doesn't give him too much trouble.
I mean, Leaf's good enough though, right? I mean, it's not great to kill Bokoblins, but once they're dead.
Yeah, true. Once you kill him, you can just drop down and leave. That's damn. Yeah, Colfra's kind of stacked for this dungeon.
Yeah, Colfra might leave Dragon Roost before Shizuka. Okay, probably not.
Depends on how trolly Goma wants to be today. We'll get to see one of my favorite strats. where you use the bow in DRC to... I mean, this isn't even... you can't even consider this like a cheating strat. This is just cool, right? I mean...
I'd ban it.
Ban it? Okay, never mind. You guys heard it here. Spoiler log season 2. No shooting down the platform allowed.
Alright, that's 2.
We have a Wind Waker Randomizer tournament. We make one of the rules no cheating and make it completely subjective and have to all argue about it for like months beforehand.
No BM.
The other thing bombs let you do is go through these 2 rooms backwards, like you see Colfra's doing. Fire arrows works too, obviously, for this, but bombs is really nice. And because when you're riding the platform up, you can go through these 2 rooms backwards, and then boom, you're right by the platform, and you can go up and continue your going through the dungeon the wrong way. Oh, hey, the big key's there.
Wow. Huge find.
Didn't realize that.
Colfra just going to go to the big key chest?
Is Shizuka going to do the same as what I'm also doing? Shizuka is electing to say... What's the technical term? Fuck that big key chest.
So if there's like a sword in there or a shard, that could just be GG. If he decides to last location it.
Yeah, you can't really warp back into DRC now, and getting back in there without warping is kinda terrible. So... Are you sure about that leaf thing? Colfra seemed to want to try and use the leaf on that account.
That's not what I meant.
Although I like the bomb strat to blow up the bridge. That was pretty good. Oh, that was so close.
Almost the 1 cycle.
That would have been really high. That feels so good when you get that.
Yeah, it feels so bad when you don't. It's like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Shizuka going to be able to check this with the bait bag. It's always nice to see these be able to be checked in sort of different ways. How you can do and can possibly even be required to do some of these checks in different ways from the logic. I'd find it interesting. There's the storage. Alright, so now we're gonna have to all try and figure out what this chest is again, just like we did for Colfra earlier.
Hate to break it to you, but both runners are actually playing the same seed, so we know what's in that chest.
Doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, you're right.
Wouldn't it be much more exciting if they were both playing different seeds, so it would be completely luck-based?
Yeah, let's go all the way. So Shizuka did store the bombs there, in case anyone forgot. I actually did forget, but we are tracking all the items in a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Neither of us is smart enough to remember where everything is, so we're using a cheat sheet. Boy, I don't know about you, doing a side hop there for this strat always makes me super nervous.
I've fallen in the water before.
Yeah, that feels really bad. Or we're gonna be able to go out of this not exactly the vanilla way, because we're gonna probably use bombs, but, you know, the vanilla path, I suppose.
Not having a save warp, yeah.
Now, is Shizuka going back to ballprint, maybe? Or is this crescent? It's hard to tell.
I think that's crescent.
Okay. Honestly, not a bad play here if you're hoping to like get be able to do the other check in. Oh, wait, maybe. Oh yeah, they know they have bombs. Oh, they probably started sailing to Crescent first in case they would get something like bombs for when they go to Paw Print, would be my guess. Since obviously Shizuka didn't know that he had bombs before he left DRI. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be fine though. Just a little bit of extra sailing.
Yeah. It's definitely a safer strat because, you know, you definitely don't want to plan like, okay, I'm kind of sure I just stored bombs, even though I have no information to base that off of. Definitely not the smartest way to play because you're gonna get burned more often than not.
Colfra's bow was on Scale the Wall in Paw Print.
Gotta love being on a timer here. Just getting to sit and enjoy the view of inside the submarine. I mean, look at the you know, designs on the walls. You know, that architecture.
Yeah, it's so unique compared to the other subs that look exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that the one I feel like the Crescent sub, you know, the sort of like viney shapes that go off are a little bit more rounded compared to like the Bomb Island sub. Those ones seem more like hexagonal. You know what I mean? At least I think. Hey, the bot was right. That was a compass. Nice for Colfra, though, doesn't have to pick up that small key, knowing that he has the exact number of small keys he needs to be able to finish the dungeon.
Yeah, my brain wouldn't be that big.
You've been like, oh, small key, need it.
Like when I saw the ghost ship chart on the tree branch and I didn't realize it was the ghost ship chart and jumped off.
I remember that. That was funny. I was watching that race and I was like, nice. You caught your mistake fairly early. You kind of leafed back around and only had to do like 2 bulbs.
You know, there's so many special charts and it looked pretty special. And then I was like, wait a second.
It's the one. The one special chart of the 15 or however many. That's funny. I like to do that the way Colfra does too, where you kind of grab the ledge more to the left, because I've gotten knocked off by like the lava, whatever you want to call it.
You've seen me get knocked off by the lava.
I have, and that's sort of what kind of tempted me into doing that other.
So there's that bow. Now we're gonna see what's in this right chest that Colfra might never come back to.
Yeah.
My bet is it's a Tingle statue.
Yeah, that seems pretty likely.
I'm gonna be wrong. Yeah. Look, I was wrong. And that's why you never try to read the logic. But you know, with that mirror shield, that'll potentially help in Earth Temple later.
So we know that Colfra probably going to end up having to go back to Paw Print then. Nobody in their right mind really wants to go into Earth Temple without Mirror Shield unless you're Go mode.
Yeah, but no one wants to like triple dip Paw Print either.
That's true. Although at this point, what's worse? Triple dipping Paw Print? Or
just reset.
Just forfeit the race.
It's not worth it. Alright, we're finally seeing the big key chest. You know, I think this one's gonna be a Tingle statue.
This could be the big one, I suppose, right? This is because Shizuka's not I wasn't able to get this, or was able to, or maybe, I'm not sure, they might not know the exact strat. It's honest.
Look, there's nothing wrong with predicting every chest, because at some point I'll be right.
True.
Oh, look, there it is, the highway pair. That's actually pretty important for Shizuka.
Yeah, I think that...
not getting burned.
Yeah, I think that... Isn't that like the highway pair? That's like the one that you need to be Ganon, though, isn't it?
Do you? Alright. I'm not going to doubt you. But you just might be wrong about that.
I could have swore one of the pairs was like hard required to beat the game. Like, the barrier doesn't break if you don't get it.
Oh, yeah. I did hear about that.
It's pretty new. Lago just added it.
Leave him. Cool feature. This sump was empty, right?
That's a good question. It's full of pain. I can tell you that. It's like your memory served you well.
Well, it wasn't my memory, it was the spreadsheet. But can I trust it?
No, because I've been filling out part of it.
I've only been filling out like half of the items I see.
So the interesting thing is going to be kind of seeing where Shizuka goes now. I think, are we seeing a Cyclos play maybe?
We haven't seen Cyclos.
Yeah, this could be exciting.
That could be the 5th Tingle statue.
I think the one that Shizuka doesn't have that Colfra does have is the Cliff Plateau one.
Yeah, Leaf was inside the Bomb Island cave, which Shizuka does have access to right now.
And yeah, we do have the Forsaken Fortress today, so this is one of those sort of rare instances where swords can be locked behind swords, actually, like hard locked. You don't see that too often. But I suppose that affects at most 2 of the sword upgrades, so... There's still 2 more out there that will have nothing to do with that. Ooh, Rip Cyclos.
Yeah, I like Stephos better anyway.
Yeah, where is that frog at? I haven't seen him in a while.
Lago removed them.
Oh, dang.
Wasn't good enough to make the cut.
Cancel culture, man. Canceling our green frog. Can't believe it. Where do you draw the line?
Alright, so now we're gonna see Headstone sub and also Top of Island from Shizuka. You know, Colfra does already have that pair, so that's kind of huge.
Yeah, that's...
No need to buy a
yes.
pair before Headstone.
That actually saves so much time. It's probably worth going to the big key chest just to get that pair, I think.
So we're gonna see this triple dip here at Paw Print for the mirror shield for Colfra.
Yeah, that is going to help Colfra. Colfra will not have to double dip the angular quadrant, and then because of getting the mirror shield and having leaf. Ideally, you do it the fastest with the hook shot, but also when you get leaf and mirror shield, you kind of have to be like, well, hook shot could be there, so it's a little risky to put it off for too long. Oh, there's your Tingle statue.
You know, the one time that I didn't say it would be there. Kinda cringe, Woofer. Kinda cringe.
Predict light arrows next.
You know I can't do that.
It'd be funny though.
But you know, Shizuka still doesn't have all 5 Tingle statues. So
True.
we're not going to actually see Ankle for a little bit.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm guessing Colfra's gonna do a bit more overworld stuff, maybe hoping to get like power bracelets or something before going to Outset to check the headstone checks. Just to be able to do pick. Or I'm wrong. Never mind. That's the blue ball. That's yeah. We don't need that. Shizuka not picking up the blue ball. Oh, never mind. I miscalled that warp. It looks like I thought Colfra was going to go to Outset, but then went to Forest Haven. My bad. Just don't listen to anything I say. It's a good rule of thumb.
So Colfra going to get small island chest here because earlier he checked top of tree branch, which was nothing.
Let's see what this is. Ooh. Fashionable footwear, yes. Card required to beat the seed? No.
In fact, it won't even be used because the iron boots outside of Wind Temple with these settings are just completely useless.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But you know, when you find a progress item in a certain place, it does tell you that there's like, it tells you something about the logic. Like that items got placed behind these checks, in this case, behind Leaf and Gravel. It's not necessarily super useful information, but in some cases, finding the iron boots could give you hints about where to look next. Although, like I said before, reading the logic, usually a mistake. You're probably gonna fail.
Yeah. It's a percentage game, I suppose, right?
Yeah. But every time you're confident about where to look, you're just gonna get burned.
Yeah, true. That's how it works for me. That's why I just am never confident about anything. That's the strat. Always play assuming wherever you're gonna go, no matter how smart of a decision it is you're just gonna be wrong. And you're going to get screwed over. That's the smartest way to play Wind Waker Randomizer.
Colfra with the leaf gonna be able to do angular the fast way. No, the other day I tried to open the chest and I rolled past it and went into that loading zone that's behind the chest. Now, I don't even know why those are there in the first place.
You know what's funny is I meant to message you about that afterwards because I saw that happen. And if you just go back into it 2 more times, you'll end up back at the chest.
Well, I didn't know.
Huh? Yeah, now you do.
Didn't I go back into it like one time?
Yeah, you were 1 time away from getting back to the chest.
Alright, Wind God Zarya, you know, same boat as the Iron Boots.
Yeah.
Trash item, but it's fine.
Don't need that. Although, after here, Shizuka will have that 5th Tingle statue, so maybe we'll get to see your best friend Ankle.
He's not my best friend.
Oh, I thought he was somebody's best friend. I swore somebody was saying
Hoagie's
that.
best friend.
Hoagie, that's right. My bad. Sorry, Pogie. Oh, hey, Green. Too bad it didn't make it into the wallet. Oh well. Maybe another year.
So does Colfra go horseshoe here? Or headstone?
I think we're grabbing bait, it looks like, at least, first. I almost think you go horseshoe first, right? Because if you can potentially do the headstone checks when you want to enter Earth Temple, I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Thank you! Bye!
Shizuka gonna elect to do the chest storage strat here.
Colfra buying more pairs.
Possibly want some for Needle Rock then, I would guess. Maybe.
Usually when I have a pair already, I would just try to use the soup glitch to avoid having to do an extra buying.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're fortunate enough to come across a pair in your randomized location checking. So Shizuka is just gonna do, maybe he doesn't want to do like the grapple strat, the without chest storage, and just wanted to use the chest storage to get up there and do that, and use the grapple to get up there. Good strat, I think.
You know, whatever's easiest, honestly.
True.
Consistency is so much more important.
Yeah. It's better to do the strat that you won't spend 40 seconds to a minute making small mistakes trying to do. And now it is sort of the rush to check ankle, right? I mean, Colfra's about to get his last tingle statue.
9 arrows here is kind of rough. You can pick up arrows in this game. And that is really useful in this sub.
Yeah, especially when you only have 9. Freak me out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get all of them, though.
Although what doesn't freak me out when it comes to stuff like that? That's the question. Hey, not getting trolled by any rats, so...
So Shizuka's finally gonna get his leaf here. And Colfra is gonna get that 5th tingle statue.
That leads me to believe we'll probably see Colfra check ankle first. Being able to get the bombs with the magtails is pretty satisfying. Bomb island.
Yeah, it's just hard. I honestly don't like bombs that much here. For an island called Bomb Island, bombs are kind of trash.
True. It's definitely not. The first one I found a pretty consistent way to like place the bomb and get it every time. But like in the sort of the arena middle area here, I don't know what else to call it. It's sort of like I give like the bombs one try, and assuming I have something else like a bow, and if I don't get it, then I'll just be like.
Colfra buying arrows again. No, I respect it.
Yeah, I do too.
Gotta fund that family business.
Did I tell you about the time where there was like, it was like 2 go mode items left for me, and I had Wind Temple and 2 overworld checks left, and they were like Cyclos and the 2, or I guess 3 because there was a 2 on Ice Ring, and I exited Tower of the Gods, and I had no arrows, so I was like, I'll just, what are the odds of it being in the overworld on Cyclos? And so instead of buying arrows in Tower of the Gods and checking Cyclos, I just went to Wind Temple because I said I could refill on arrows there. And yeah, the Ice Ring and the Cyclos checks both had the go mode items, and Wind Temple was completely empty.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. And from that day forward, I said, you know, buying arrows isn't that bad if you think you're going to make the smart, if you think those checks are the smarter routing play. Like, that was the day I learned that was. Oh, it's time.
What will Ankle have? Will it be a bow upgrade for fire and ice arrows? Will it be our first sword? The hook shot? Or perhaps a red rupee?
Skull Hammer, maybe? That could open up, what's that place called? fortress one. You know, it's got the big bird in it.
Never heard of it.
I can't remember what it's called. Something.
Alright, Ankle, what is it? Oh, it is the fire and ice arrows. Out of the many items I listed, that was one of them, so I'm gonna take credit.
Yeah.
That's
that was
right.
Smart. Good logic read. Very, very strong. Wait, we could see something interesting here from the top of this waterfall, right?
So I think Colfra is going to do Ghost Ship at Diamond Step, and then go to Needle Rock. Well, I guess also Horseshoe first. So Horseshoe, Diamond Step, plus Ghost Ship, and then Needle Rock with Fire and Ice Arrows.
Yeah.
And then Islet of Steel.
Yeah, I think that's really, really a good route for Colfra here. And I really think Colfra should try doing what I did the other day in that one race and get really lucky and actually just get the hook shot on the Ghost Ship at Diamond Step. That would be really good routing.
Have to put the item there.
Yeah. It's difficult to pull off, but if done successfully, then can work out very well. And I'm kind of hoping that Colfra skips as many of these golf holes as possible, because skipping things is cool. Yeah, look at that. Not quite. That was really close. Yeah, who needs Super Mario Golf Rush when you have play golf on Horseshoe Island? That's a skull hammer.
Yeah, I mean, you did mention that item recently, and now we see it. What are the chances? Alright, so Colfra's probably just going to stick to his route here and then just continue clearing out this whole left side of the overworld. Obviously, he might find some items that will unlock other locations, but there's really no reason not to keep doing these checks because he can full clear all of this.
Yeah, I mean, you could like make the case, I suppose, for, you know, maybe if you go do something else and just come back to do Diamond Step with Hookshot, but at the same time, you know, that's not really saving you that much at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the Leaf and the Skull Hammer, Diamond Step isn't that bad.
Yeah.
And there it is, you know? You did say you should route it like that. And Colfra did. That's huge. Putting that hook shot there was a really good play.
Yeah. The god plays here. Very smart routing.
Yeah, you don't even have to do Diamond Step early.
No sword though, unfortunately, so can't do the super cool strat, but still though, very nice. What really put the item there was the Colfra's route is what did that. You know, that's what good routing does. If you have really good routing, the items just go to the places you want them to.
Colfra having a moment there, and then realizing you do need a sword in order to do the bomb push strat.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't get to see that strat today. I really like it. It's one of my favorite strats. I like that strat too. The sort of like turn your back to the pot as sort of like a giant fuck you to the pot.
Yeah, I like it because I constantly miss with the Skull Hammer on those pots.
Yeah. Really nice for Shizuka. That doing the Angular Cave without a sword is not the easiest. Aiming the light with your mirror shield.
Diamond Step completely empty, unfortunately.
Yeah. At least we already have the hook shot, though. Normally, if you're doing Diamond Step early and you get bad stuff in Diamond Step on a seed with no wind hook, you're kind of like, oh god, the hook shot's in hell. But since we already have it, pretty nice. What are the swords, though? Is it really going to be like a stacked, like, Forsaken Fortress with lots of swords? I suppose there's Earth Temple, too, right? Now that we know where the hammer is.
Yeah. I think it makes sense to clear out the overworld before doing dungeons without swords. Besides Forsaken Fortress, maybe, because you don't really need a sword for that.
Yeah, true.
Earth Temple swordless?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Ew. I wouldn't do it. Ooh, nice snipe. Colfra there. Yeah, I almost think... I can't think of, like, any situation where I wouldn't do... Like, I guess the only time you don't do FF before Earth Temple is, like, if you don't have Skull Hammer, right? I mean, otherwise it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, dipping FF without the Skull Hammer is...
Not the best play. Yeah, because as we've all learned at one point or another, even if you didn't already know it, but you sort of had to, like, you learned it through sort of experience. It was something you subconsciously knew, but the Skull Hammer can be in Earth Temple.
There it is. It's
Yeah.
one of them.
Alright, 3 more to go. I guess we still need 2 shards too, don't we? And light arrows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got a long way to go in this one. Well, that's helpful, though. Command melody, one of those things that's not, like, hard required for this, but definitely makes Earth Temple a lot nicer.
Ice Ring and Cabana now for Colfra?
I think so. That seems like the smart play to me. Probably not getting the Islet of Steel, though. I wonder, did Colfra already do that? I can't even remember.
I guess not.
Yeah, because if you get the delivery bag here from Ice Ring, then that's just gonna make Cabana a lot easier. But you also don't need it, so. Oh, you know, I guess Colfra did already do the Islet of Steel then.
And Great... Oh yeah, I guess they did do Great Fish. I remember that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Islet of Steel was for Roars. Right.
I don't remember what that mail was. Has Colfra checked it yet?
Maybe.
Yeah. I guess we'll never know.
That's fine. I'm sure it's nothing.
Nothing, just like Ice Ring. Looking pretty good for Fire Mountain.
Oh, that's my favorite island.
Oh, we're gonna get our Furor's Pearl question answered here. Pretty much in like 5 seconds. Oh, there it is.
So at this point, both runners have done one dungeon, that's Dragon Roost, and they have close to the same number of Go Mode items, but I do think Colfra has done more checks, and is more likely to go into Forsaken Fortress and Earth Temple earlier. So,
Yeah.
unless Shizuka decides to dungeon rush, I think there's a good chance that they end up sort of following this like full clear overworld and then rush dungeons type of route. And then at that point, Colfra would have the advantage.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I think, yeah, because Colfra's already done, like, Golf and Diamond Step, Ghost Ship, and I'm hoping, actually, Shizuka checks their tracker relatively soon, because I don't see that he's marked that he has Ghost Ship chart, and he did do the Cliff Plateau, so he does have it stored, but I think maybe just not having realized it yet.
Yeah, and that would be pretty unfortunate because not having the hook shot would be rough.
Yeah. Definitely an item I like to have. Oh no, the rat. Rats are not your friend. Oh yeah, Colfra's done Angular Cave too. Or no, Shizuka did that. Oh, it's hard to keep. I'm having trouble keeping track. This is an ice ring play, I think, on Shizuka's side.
Yeah.
Last song. So now we know the delivery bag can't be super deep in Earth Temple. So that's, you know, potentially helpful information. Probably just in Forbidden Woods though, I would guess.
Ooh, wow. Do we know if Colfra has stored anything on top of the waterfall?
I think Shizuka checked it and it was a highway pair.
Oh boy, more of those.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking
Colfra
back.
could have just, you know, bought no pairs.
We are going to... I think we're going to Fire Mountain.
I respect it.
Yeah, I think that's basically the last overworld location that Colfra has left. At least that he has access to, apart from, like, you know, the mail checks that we can't get.
I mean, at this point, you find power bracelets in Fire Mountain, or you just go to Forsaken Fortress, right?
Right.
Not many other options.
Yeah.
Why Fire Mountain over FF? The thing is, Colfra doesn't have the Master Sword right now, so there's potentially a sword in here, and then that would let Colfra full clear Forsaken Fortress, but it's like slightly safer.
Yeah,
than
like
risking a double dip to Forsaken Fortress. Although the double dip for FF isn't bad at all.
Yeah, you're basically thinking, what's the worst thing that could happen to me right now if I'm Colfra is that the sword is tier, and the two other swords are in Earth Temple, and Phantom Ganon has power bracelets, right? And you're just kind of trying to avoid that situation. It's pretty unlikely, right? But it's, you know, it's something you want to avoid. Oh, we're going back into DRC, I think, on Shizuka's side. Possibly going to try and save Scum out of the big Q chest. Not even giving the Mag Chales the chance to climb up the wall. I guess one thing I suppose that's worth mentioning is Colfra needs 3 swords and 2 shards, right? So that's, and power bracelets. So that's 6 items. So can't really even get Go mode just from Forsaken Fortress anyway. And it's pretty much a general consensus across all runners that you're going to full clear the overworld before you go into Earth Temple. So it doesn't really matter for Colfra to do Fire Mountain before or after.
Where do you even check the wallet? I'm pretty sure warping is faster than sailing to any location.
Yeah, I'd warp to the forest. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, I'm wondering if now.
Although
Shizuka...
honestly, like, what are you gonna find here? Like, it has to be a sword,
right,
for it to be worth it.
Yeah. Well, Fire Mountain, not necessary today. Now we know it's Forsaken Fortress. Probably has power bracelets there somewhere. Or I suppose it kind of has to.
Yeah, and 3 swords.
Yeah.
And 2 shards.
True.
Are there even enough checks?
Maybe with the mail check, if we get, like, delivery bag that
could
open up more mail? I don't know.
I'm excited for the empty Earth Temple.
Shizuka getting the pair and saying bye-bye. Yeah, the nice thing about Earth Temple is it's very, very reliable as a dungeon. You can pretty much always rely on it to have nothing. Might be the most reliable dungeon, honestly. Sometimes it lets you down, but nobody bats 1,000.
Alright, 50 more rupees. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now, the thing that's hurting Shizuka is not realizing that he stored that ghost ship chart.
I mean, that's just the hook shot, right? I mean, he's gonna have to realize it at some point, or it'll be really bad.
Yeah,
but I don't think right now it's gonna change too much.
True. He still has the same amount of Forsaken Fortress opened as Colfra does, and we know that that's the place we have to go next. It's really only going to matter for, like, the late game, depending on where the go mode is for Colfra, I suppose, right?
This next check probably has something. Either that or it's the letter.
Yeah, man, if it's the only thing in FF is Errol's mail, leading to, like, a sword, or, like, power bracelets, and then everything's in Earth Temple, that's so, like, bad.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
The delivery bag we talked about.
I'm wondering if Colfra thinking Phantom Cannon might be required, but maybe forgetting about, or I don't know, I guess we're going this way. Ooh, interesting, this. I like to just go through the Bokoblin room.
Yeah, the strat is definitely an option. It's just a little tricky because you need to get the leaf pumps.
Yeah, a little harder.
Hoagie, I just want to say, I only read the logic ironically, so it's fine.
Good leaf pumps so far. Look at that. Easy. First try. I reminded everyone in chat, every single trick is first try, as long as you say first try after you get it. Only requirement. And that's not just me making stuff up, that's just a fact of, you know, this is just a science fact, that's just how the universe works. At this point, we know the power bracelets or a sword to unlock Phantom Cannon have to be either on the Arrow Mail or on the note to Mom, Baito's mother. Right, I think?
Yeah. I don't know what else we could find.
I guess the short way of saying that is Colfra has 2 locations accessible right now that aren't Helmer, because we know that's a shard. We're just playing golf on Shizuka's side.
Respect the game. I want to see some Wind Waker rando commentators start whispering when someone's on Horseshoe.
Monkel and I did that once.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we were like... And then we told... I think Lost was doing that restream, and we told her, we said, hey, if people actually like this, and you want to have a ZSR, like, sub-goal or something for Monko and I to do like a whole charity stream like that, we would probably be down. So, that's the thing. Apparently it was funny, but I'm gonna have to actually watch some like real-life golf to actually brush up on how golf commentators commentate. If I'm gonna end up doing something like that. Pretty solid landing spot for Colfra there. We see Shizuka following close behind into Forsaken Fortune. After just picking up his skull hammer from Horseshoe. At this point, we're kind of seeing the sort of differences. Colfra is ahead in Forsaken Fortress and has done Diamond Step and Ghost Ship as well. So it's fairly apparent at this point that Colfra does have a lead. Although, depending on where the items are in Earth Temple and how the runners route that could, you know, still could potentially change. Colfra's also done Cabana, right? So that's
yeah, and that's same with Diamond Step. Shizuka just needs to realize about that Ghost Ship chart that he has.
Yeah.
Over finding a shard on Helmarok. No, just kidding. That's always there. We are doing race mode, which means 3 of the 8 shards are on bosses.
I suppose what's the thing that you're hoping for if you're the runners right now? You just really want to get the
You just really want to stop playing. So what will get you to there quicker?
Power bracelets and swords.
I mean, if you get a sword here, you're like, wow, that's funny. If you get power bracelets, then you kind of just need to go to Earth Temple and then come back to Forsaken Fortress later.
Maybe hope you find everything else in Earth Temple and Phantom Ganon is just bait.
I mean, if I see a sword here, honestly, I just DNF and ask for a run back.
Let's try this again. This seed was lame. Anytime there's more than 2 items in Earth Temple, it's a BM seed.
At runners, run it back.
I think Jay's right. It is a 50-50. There's it's
either here or it's not. Yeah.
Power
well,
this is probably a shard too. Earth Temple can't have that many items.
Damn.
I tried. Oh, the pig! The pig! The pig can still save.
Colfra does have bait, right?
I hope so.
He did buy 3 pairs.
We've all been there.
Alright, Sans.
Colfra, don't throw the pig behind the island. Okay, good. Glad you heard me.
You know, I did a race yesterday where I tried to pick up the pig even though I didn't have power bracelets, and then later when I actually did the big pig, I tried to leaf even though I didn't have leaf. So, you know, Colfra's gameplay here, real solid. None of those mistakes. Pig has nothing, which means ET loaded yet again.
Yeah, dang. So ETs could have everything except for there could be one of the sword or shard on Phantom Ganon. There could be a sword in Hyrule, and there could be something on Baito Mail, but Baito Mail is really just an Earth Temple check anyway, just with extra steps. So, because we still need 2 shards, 3 sword upgrades. We need 5 items still to be able to finish the game. On Colfra's side. I suppose on both sides, because we know where the items that Colfra has Shizuka doesn't are at. Yeah. Oh no, there's a clip. And now everyone's gonna watch that clip, then they're all gonna laugh at me.
Yeah, I think we're the 2 worst Big Pig players.
Yeah, that's fair. I've earned that. I've earned that. It was so funny because I remember watching back, because I watched back a lot of the restreams of our races, and I remember Sim going, "Oh, Elijah's going for that strat on the pig." No, I just fucked up. I just am bad. I wasn't trying to do a different setup or something fancy. I just messed up. I just threw the pig when I didn't mean to throw the pig, and then I messed up the skew. It was just bad. Ooh, Haley died to the pig? That's rough.
I mean, I've come real close. I remember
Scary.
angering the pig as a joke and then running away.
You could do it as a joke if you have more than 3 hearts, right? You just...
The big pig does 3 damage. Literally more powerful than any other enemy. It is Ganon's mom.
Yeah. I mean, Ganon's strongest attack does 1 heart, right? The pig does 3 on just its every attack.
Yeah.
That's kind of powerful. The real final boss of the game is the pig. Has anybody ever defeated the pig?
No, it's not possible.
Pig is too powerful.
Although you can yeet it far into the ocean.
I did like
you
that.
showed us.
Happy to help. Almost. One more R button. Oh, doesn't work.
Colfra showing us many combinations of arrows on dark shoes. You know, what did we learn?
Ooh, nice throw. Just
Light arrows on stone shoes don't work, and ice arrows don't freeze dark shoes. I hope you've been paying attention. That will be on your next exam.
I actually did not know that the ice arrows didn't work when they were in stone form, so that is good information.
You mean the light arrows?
Yes. What did I say?
Ice arrows.
Ah, I didn't know that both. So I did mean to say light arrows, but I said the wrong thing. I also didn't know the ice arrows didn't work on them when they weren't in whatever form.
I had no idea there were pots here.
There are pots here.
What's even in them? Just bombs?
Apparently there are bombs in those pots.
Medley was there? What?
Wait, how long has Medley been in a thing in Earth Temple?
Yes.
Whoa, nice throw. I wouldn't have the stomach to even go for that.
So is Colfra like gonna...
I feel like
plan is.
I feel like you do the storage route, right? I mean, you need like 1,000 items still. So you're probably gonna full clear. I mean, there's probably something in Hyrule at this point with how many items we're missing. Probably a sword there.
Probably a sword on Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, sword.
Sword in Master Sword Chamber.
Sword, a shard in Master Sword Chamber 2. You know.
Buy 1 sword, get 1 shard free. Thanks, Hyrule.
It's the 2-for-1 chest. The one thing we can say, at least for Shizuka, is he is going to get to have light arrows before Earth Temple going to Cabana now, so that's good. Yeah, I also like anytime I'm in ET, I do like to refill in that Floor Master room. Those Floor Master orbs are just spicy. They're just loaded with all kinds of good stuff. You got like magic bombs, bomb magic, arrow bombs.
Yeah, plus in like every other seed, you actually have a Master Sword in that room and soup. So you don't even need a bow in order to kill them.
Yeah. On like a real seed and not like a cringy, gross seed like this one. We're really having to hope Shizuka finds, because if there is something in Earth Temple mini boss, not having the hook shot for that, if Shizuka goes in there before realizing that he can do Ghost Ship, is gonna be really sad, because there's the leaf pumping strat, but man, the hook shot is just, I mean, at this point, that's just how I feel like that mini boss was intended to be done. Just hook shot up there, you know, it's so natural. It's like, it just feels right, you know? It feels right.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Colfra wouldn't use light arrows here, although I don't know if he has enough arrows. 25, that should be enough.
Yeah, I think without Master Sword, you probably just do either light arrows or you could ice arrow Skull Hammer. I'm not sure if one is significantly faster than the other. But yeah, but both are very valid strats. Light arrows are probably, you're less likely to function without maybe. Like,
It's still easy for like something like this to happen, which doesn't happen if you just quick spin. So that's like, that's the reason I always just use sword. But with Hero Sword, it sucks.
Yeah, because you can't do it with like a one combo thing. Shizuka getting those light arrows now. Hopefully checks for a Ghost Ship chart. But feels less likely. But we'll see. We can all hold out hope. We're going to eat the pig though. At least that's safe to assume with the equipped of the bait. Chest is giving Colfra quite the time here.
Try the other side, you know? Maybe it's different. It's not.
At that point, it's more of a mental thing, I suppose. There we go.
Nice.
Yay. Look at the pig. Look at the arrow. It's kind of like spazzing out. I love that. I love to see stuff like that happen. Good yeet though for Shizuka.
Throwing the pig, that's bold. I know I've ran out of bait with that, but it worked.
Oh no, Colfra avoided out. What do we do?
Well, the good thing is that was on purpose.
We got a small key from one of those two chests. We'll probably never know which one. No sword yet, though, and it didn't look like I saw a shard, although I'm not even sure if Colfra even brought up that screen.
I don't know how excited Colfra is to do more of this.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, but you know, with a bunch of that practice from the last stream, gets it pretty quick this time. Not
Yeah, the first storage was just practice for the second one. I like that mentality.
That's what I tell myself anytime I fuck something up a lot. I'm like, it's just practice for when I have to do it again in like 10 seconds. We are gonna see the Earth Temple dip on Shizuka's side, so that is unfortunate. Just because of what we know about the hookshot location. And yeah, there's still a bunch of swords missing, so there's still a lot left to find out about this one. We're gonna do Valhalla first on Colfra's side, which makes a lot of sense.
And there's that big key skip with chest storage.
And since we have Colfra's audio, we can definitively say, hey, Colfra just got rupees from that last chest. That is cool. Yeah, not a ton of rupees, just some rupees, you know. And I can't remember the last time I've done Valhalla, or I did Valhalla with just the...
No, it's not fun. The Master Sword not only does double damage, but it's also just a bigger sword, which means it reaches further.
Yeah, that's something you don't normally think about. These kind of things, you're like, oh yeah, I'll just sword attack twice, or I'll use soup and quick spin because that's what you do with Master Sword if you didn't have soup. And you're like, oh, I can only reach half as far away from my character. Nice.
Light arrows on the opposer are an option. It's kind of hard with the delay in between the arrows, but if you get a pretty good aim, you can hit multiple of them in a row.
Yeah. And at the very least, you can buy yourself some time. You can light arrow like the last one if it's like kind of really far away. I think Colfra's gonna be Oh my goodness! I was on the edge of my seat for that one. That felt really close to being the end of the timer for that cycle. I don't know what the cycle is, but it felt. I don't know. Were you getting nervous? I was getting nervous.
No, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of no Valhallas.
Nerves of steel. I'm impressed. That's.
I live for this.
If it was me, if I'd have been like streaming racing, that would have been me. I had the face cam on. You guys would have probably started to see me like sweating and like shaking. And then when I would have fucked it up, I would have been like really angry. Alright, yes, so we are still. Ooh,
Missing
Colfra.
2 shards. And
missing.
3 swords.
We're gonna leave Earth Temple.
So what's outside of Earth Temple? Letter from Bido?
That's it. I think that's the only thing we can check. I'm not even sure Colfra did a save in the Valhalla fight. Did he?
Yeah, this
Like
is interesting.
Yeah, hopefully...
I mean, you know, maybe you get 2 shards from this letter and then you just go to Hyrule and do barrier skip?
Yeah, I don't think Colfra opened up the dungeon warp either, so... even
That
if
was
you
a
get
joke,
a sword...
by the way, because barrier skip is banned in this tournament.
True.
We actually banned barrier skip and puppet ganon skip, so you do need all 4 swords, all 3 bows, all 8 shards.
Oh, the
Well,
shard. Wow.
Only 1, because there's only 1 check on Bido.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that
guess...
was about as close as you can hope for, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you're Colfra, maybe you're hoping to get like a Master Sword. and be able to check Phantom Ganon, and then warp back into Earth Temple through the dungeon warp pot in FF. But
I mean, honestly, this play might not be that bad if it lets him skip a check in Earth Temple. But it's kind of hoping for a lot because you still have so many items left. I mean, that's 4 more items.
Yeah, I think I would have probably, if I was going to go for the Vito Mail, with that many items left, I'd probably always do it after Earth Temple Basement.
Yeah, at least like cut the checks in half.
Yeah, I think, and we're going to see the left side play on Shizuka's side, so... yeah, that is one of those things. Sometimes the autopilot, if it was a case of autopilot, it's one of those, sometimes the autopilot giveth, the autopilot taketh away. Because I've been on autopilot before too, and it can help with like some execution, right, where you just like go full muscle memory, but also in some instances it can hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, the really good news for Colfra, though, is he's already done Valhalla. He's cleared the entire overworld that he can. And that is a pretty significant lead. So even deciding to leave Earth Temple like that isn't really going to make a difference in terms of this race.
Yeah, this is one of those instances, too, I suppose, where if you wanted to, you could have save scummed and just, like, soft reset out of that...
medley.
You could have soft reset out of that shard, and even just knowing it's there is kind of huge anyway. Oh, there's the Earth Temple big key on left side. We know there's no small keys on left side, right? We found all of those. This is interesting. We see the divide here. One of the oldest Earth Temple debates of all time. The left side versus the basement first.
Basement's actually like always guaranteed in terms of logic to be earlier / better, because either there's a key on the left side and then both the basement and the left side require fire and ice arrows, but then there's only 3 checks on the left side because of the small key being there, or only the left side requires the fire and ice arrows and then the basement is just behind those 3 keys. But you know, what often happens with these settings is that both are required, so it's really not that bad. But generally, like, if you're just talking in terms of logic, basement's like a generally safer choice.
Yeah, and we're seeing. Yeah, we're seeing as you're giving the basement explanation, basement versus left side, we're seeing swords everywhere. Sword on left side, 2 in the basement.
I think you marked these wrong on the spreadsheet.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There's actually, yeah, there's 2 swords in the basement and 1 on left side, so basement wins again.
Yeah, true.
I'm on team basement.
Yeah, the basement just is... The way to think about it, too, and look at it this way. For me, the basement will never have a small key. Ever. For the rest of time, you'll never see a small key in the Earth Temple basement.
Basement wins 3-1.
Yep. And, that's no mode for us. So Phantom Ganon was just a tease, like normal. And we know that the rest of left side is going to be nothing.
And the good thing for Colfra is he's gonna get to at least skip 2 checks on left side by leaving. So leaving Earth Temple actually gonna pay off a little bit. Or at least break even.
Definitely. Yeah, I suppose that's maybe the worst thing that Colfra could do right now would be to save and quit after this big key chest and check Phantom Ganon, but even that I don't think is going to matter a whole lot.
I mean, if he saves comes back here, it's not going to be that bad.
That's true too.
It's like maybe a couple of minutes.
Yeah. And we're going left side, I think. But we need melee.
Nope.
I think left side is the safer play if you're Colfra here. Just to... I mean, the soft reset, like you were saying, isn't too bad, but... yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
would...
checking Hyrule, that's another one of those plays. The scary thing about doing checks like that is, one, it's less likely to have the item, just because of how the randomizer item placement works. But then also, the other runner is more likely to do left side before Hyrule, so you're intentionally doing it in an order that's different. And at that point, if you're the faster runner, which I would assume that Colfra thinks he is, you wouldn't want to take a gamble like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also, interesting doing the strat despite having the move.
Yeah, you are essentially in that sort of a situation. You are basically always doing something that the other person isn't going to do. And it's only going to work out for you in the percent of the time that is the required check. Otherwise, you're just throwing time away, essentially. And as we know from maths and our research by one of the lovely members of the community, Dark, the Master Sword Chamber has a sword in it about 6.5% of the time. So, in that sense, by going there first, you're losing time. Like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Well,
at least he already pushed the block down. So.
I really like using light arrows here.
Yeah.
I didn't think about doing it until I saw someone do it in a race.
Yeah, the light arrows on that Floor Master are pretty nice. One thing I do here, I don't know if you do it, but if I'm one item from Go mode, I just do the one block. And don't even open up. I only do this one and don't open up the other one and just sort
I'm not
of
that optimistic.
That's fair, that's fair.
I always assume that ET left side will be empty and that I'll just have to go to Hyrule. And if I'm looking for a shard, I assume it's going to be on the Snalfos mini-boss.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely probably the safer way. It's one of those deals where most of the time I lose like a couple seconds to having to jump back down. But that every once in a while I get to skip pushing that block all the way. And in those times it's worth it.
I think for me it also helps to just always do that room the same way. Not have to think about it.
There is something, there is definitely something to be said for that. We're about to see Go mode on Colfra's side actually here, so... Everybody get ready. This is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, watch that Go light up in the bottom left.
Yeah, it's what I live for.
There it is. So now for Shizuka. This is a little scary. Because I'm not sure when he's going to find the hook shot, if ever.
Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate. That's the one thing that scares me a ton about the ghost ship chart, is just forgetting about it and getting burned super hard, like we're seeing here. I guess it's not too much of a burn, but you're gonna end up full clearing Earth Temple. Although that's mostly just from doing left side first in this particular seed. But you also, even if you would have had the hook shot, you would at least saved a little bit of time in the mini boss. The bomb push dive, not being friendly to either of our runners, unfortunately. All in all, I really like Colfra's route. I can't really think of too much stuff that I personally would have done differently with it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, just solid decision making throughout. And
Yeah.
pretty clean gameplay as well.
Definitely. I guess the very early parts, not that it ended up mattering a whole lot. I wouldn't have done the subs as early as without a weapon.
Yeah.
The weapons were in terrible spots, so I mean 3 swords and Earth Temple.
Although Shizuka rushed the subs even earlier, right?
Yeah, true. Shizuka did all those combat subs before even going to outset. Oh wow, Jesus, he just like destroyed that barrier. I'd never seen that before.
Never seen the barrier break.
Yeah, that was shocking. I was not prepared for that. It scared me a little bit. Kind of heart skipped a beat.
No, you just love the sand sound effects. At least I do.
I enjoy them as well. I've grown rather fond of the it's sort of peaceful.
Yeah, you know, some people say that I'm really dumb for playing with sands and ask like, how do I put up with it? But it's kind of nice having pretty much the same sound effect for the whole game, because I can listen to music and it doesn't get in the way like Link screaming. Like the normal sound effects are surprisingly annoying.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, it's like a consistency thing. You know, you don't get like shocked or surprised by any sort of strange noises that you don't always hear. I can see that. I forgot to see what time Colfra entered Hyrule to get like a potential finish time.
I'll go back.
Ooh, nice. At this point, given where Colfra is, I'd be guessing we're looking at, like, at the worst, like a 205 and some change. Probably a little better than that. Probably somewhere in the 204s. Depends on the level of puppet gain and trolling we see.
Colfra entered Hyrule at 157.16. So probably a low 205.
Low 205 sounds about right. But hey, we could still see that 204 something if Colfra has like a really epic puppet ganon fight. That'd be cool to see. I always like seeing things go really fast. Not quite on the first shot. That's okay. We have 4 tries left. Ooh, that felt like Colfra got scammed on that one. Did you like saw that arrow and it was like the opposite of curving the bullet and like wanted, you know? It
Yeah.
was like the tail curve around the thing. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's the Matrix.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. PG was like Leo and just like froze the arrow and like. Okay, spin's not bad. It's just time to refill on magic. Maybe some arrows if you need them. I gotta say, I would if this was me fighting Puppet Ganon and I was getting this kind of movement, I would define this as what this would be what I would define as annoying Puppet Ganon.
Yeah, there is some randomness on Puppet Ganon. Just with the movement. Sometimes he moves less than the usual, sometimes more.
Yeah, less is ideal, at least for me.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when he moves towards you, it can get really annoying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when he gets like all up in your face.
When he turns that tail around and faces you, and then you still can't hit it, that's when it feels bad.
That one's like the worst because you're like, you feel like you should be able to hit it because it's right there, you know, it's right in front of you, but you just can't. We are finishing up the PG1 though, so that was nice. All in all, not bad. I know. I think we only saw one spin, right? Usually, if you can keep it under one spin, that's not too bad. Now, how many crypt shots do we see? The one, the double.
Oh! Love
Nice.
to see it.
That was nice. Super cool. You don't see that one every day.
Getting a little low on hearts. That's fine.
Strats, our restreamer's favorite. We see the half puzzle strat on Shizuka's side. I like that strat. It's a nice strat. It's really good if you don't have leaf. I think. And that's a defeated puppet cannon on Colfra's side. Music to my ears. It's like, what's a good analogy? It's kind of like, you know, like birds singing on a fresh summer morning. It reminds me a lot like that. It gives me that same kind of feeling, that serenity, the peace, the calm, sort of like, you know, it's just a good vibe, you know?
Yeah, just sans.
Yep. Alright, so Shizuka is just the ghost ship hookshot from Go Mode and the shard on Baito Mail.
Nice first phase.
Shizuka has not tracked Ghost Ship chart. I believe that's because he stored it and didn't realize it. Yeah, does have the Ghost Ship chart. He does have it. Zelda not hitting Colfra with the arrow today. And that is GG's.
Very solid win.
Yeah.
So, Colfra versus Gabri, the next best of 3 in top 12. That's when the bracket gets even scarier.
We're gonna get to see what Puppet Ganon has for us, or Phantom Ganon, I mean, sorry, has for us today. And hopefully we'll get an interview here with our runners.
I could drag them in. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Think you're allowed to. There we go. GG's to Colfra.
GG's.
And
GG's.
joining us from the future, GG's to Shizuka as well.
So yeah, that was a seed.
Oh, 3 swords and Earth Temple. What do you guys think?
I hate you.
It was unbelievable. Like I just, wow. Like for me, I was worried that I had the wrong seed or the wrong game because all I was finding was rupees, and I was like, "What the hell's going on? Is this right?" And then
Yeah.
then like Shizuka said, it was the bottle in chat that led to other stuff.
I was like, is that swordless seed or like?
Yeah, it was just so awkward. It's just, yeah.
Well, in that seed, one thing that was huge was Colfra staying patient and deciding to stay in the overworld against all odds before going to Dragon Roost. So, Shizuka, you had quite a time there.
Yeah.
Did you not have a bow at DLC?
No, I didn't have a bow in DLC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I checked the mail on the eye, so I was like, okay, grappling DLC.
Right.
Yeah,
So my DLC was really unfair. It was like 25 minutes in.
Yeah, if it's any consolation, you were able to avoid the triple dip onto paw print that Colfra had to do.
Oh man.
This was like the one time where the triple dip actually was more helpful than the not triple dip.
Well, I didn't find my hookshot yet, so.
Yeah, that was another thing that was really unfortunate. Was I don't know if you heard the sort of the end of the restream or talking about. You had the hookshot was in Ghost Ship, and you stored the Ghost Ship chart in Cliff Plateau.
Oh, okay. Like, as I said to Colfra, that's the first time ever I didn't check my maps, so...
Yeah, it was... At least we're like 99% sure it was Cliff Plateau. We think we accounted for all the other stored chests.
I marked it down as Cliff Plateau, so I think it was...
If you want the info, Lighthouse check is Quiver.
That's useful.
Yeah.
Would have been. I had to buy arrows twice.
God. So many.
Yeah.
Using them.
Yeah, this is one of those ones when you don't get a sword that early, and really the only weapon you get is a bow. You kind of burn through arrows really fast, and it can be scary to run out.
Well, did you really triple dip paw prints?
Yeah.
But I had to return in DRC for Big Chest.
Oh, right. Gain the pair, I think.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Yeah, that was rough to see. We were like, hopefully he just doesn't go back. Maybe it saves a little time and a little headache going all the way back through there, but I can understand being nervous about it. It's very... When you have a check left like that, it can make you very like...
Yeah, I think I was just really desperate for a sword for ages. It was so long. And then when I found the first one, like before I found the first one, I was going to dip into FF and ignore the Phantom Gun check. But then when I found the first one, I thought, okay, maybe I can find a second one at some point and get that check at the same time. But obviously in hindsight, it was... Well, actually it was still a progressive item, I think, but... Well, you know, a normal item, but it wasn't needed in the end.
Yeah, it was... I did like your play of like the Fire Mountain and everything else before Forsaken Fortress to hopefully get the sword to avoid it, but unfortunately just completely unavoidable. But luckily it wasn't forced to go back for Phantom Cannon for you, so that worked out.
Yeah, I did this really... I was trying to be really smart ET and open the warp pot and then go to Phantom Ganon, but I left Jalhala to ET, and then I completely forgot that I didn't have a Master Sword. And so when I checked Bite and Mail, I was so annoyed and had to do the Seal of Shame back to ET.
Yeah, we were kind of like... I was kind of thinking maybe it wasn't... That's not even like the worst play also if you to saves come back, because even just knowing that the shard is there
Yeah.
wouldn't have been
I
too
didn't
terrible.
save though,
but-
which annoyed me the most. I just completely forgot to save as well, and it just felt all pointless, like trying to route it in.
It is good that you didn't soft reset without saving.
True.
Yeah,
was
That
scared
would
of
have been a
that.
disaster.
I was very scared of that. That would have been like, okay, time to redo Oliver's Temple and who knows what else. But it ended up working out not too badly for you. The sale wasn't too bad, but I did like the sort of play there. It was interesting with the warp pot. Would have been really cool had the sword have shown up early.
Yeah, I think when I entered ET with the basic sword, I think I was just really scared where the master sword could be.
Mm-hmm.
It just could have been anywhere, and we didn't find it for ages. And it turns out it was in mini mirrors room anyway. So
The kind of thing that makes it's the kind of thing that makes you think maybe I should just go to Forbidden Woods, even though it's not marked in the logic, because there's always swords there, right?
I was thinking that. I was thinking, ET seems a bit loaded like Forbidden Woods this time. It's like, yeah, there it is. These swords.
Yeah. Any other thoughts that either of you guys have about the seed, or?
Well, I really don't know how much item I last locate. Like 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, this seed really narrowed. Everybody got down to like 1 or 2 item locations remaining, like multiple times. It was very narrow path to victory, I guess you would say.
Yeah, my only chance to win was I want an UFO clear. That was my only chance to win, to be honest. So when I saw that seed with only bottle sphere 0, I was like, I lost.
That was harsh, yeah. That was really harsh. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting here, we were all like, what's going to be the item? And then we're like, oh, well, maybe the out of logic, like Jaboon's Cave will unlock a bunch of the seed or something. No, nothing did. And we even mentioned earlier, well, one thing that the runners could do if they really want to try and get some items before going into DRC, there's always the option of Diamond Step early. That was empty too.
I was heavily considering that.
Yeah, even though you did it on time, it was still empty.
Yeah.
And Islet of Steel was empty. And just that top of Waterfall.
Yeah. I mentioned all those as like, these are places they could go, before potentially going to DRC without weapons. And I feel like it was smart to mention them. It just didn't work out today.
Yeah, I was heavily considering DRC, but then when I saw DRC was, full clearable, I just thought, okay, there's gotta be a sword in there. There has to be a weapon, right? 15 checks, 4, 5, 6, 7 dungeon items,
Yeah.
Good chance, and then it found nothing. It's like, great.
Yeah. And what, bait bag did, and I don't think any of like the pig wasn't required, right? So.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, so the bait bag checks were all just kind of bait.
Yeah.
I guess you could count the one on Needle Rock. It had command melody, so.
No, Baitbag gave bomb to me because I didn't have bow.
Yeah,
Oh,
but there
that's
was a
fair.
bow and paw print.
Yeah.
Behind
So
the
Baitbag was useful to
grapple,
me.
just behind the
But only for me.
Fair. Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot else to say about that seed. 3 swords and Earth Temple. Definitely cool. Don't see that.
3 soul and 3 for Chard.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's cool or not.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. The Beto male had a shard too, and there's a shard in the basement.
Plastic Beto.
Yeah. Well, anybody else have any other thoughts or anything about the seed or the race? Anything they wanted to mention? Or
There's a run back race right now. It is not too late to join. So if you want to redeem yourself with a seed that sucks less, join that.
I think it's quite late for us too. I think Shizuka, I think it's like 11 o'clock, but you're right, 11:30.
Yeah, but it's okay. Don't worry.
Weekend is Friday. Could actually do it. I might.
I think Woofer, you beat Artemis by running that seed.
Yeah, whoops.
I just still can't believe Bottle opened up everything, and out of all the items, it was Bottle.
I just can't believe that our only location progress item was bottle
Yeah.
in Sphere 0.
Yeah, and even those sort of simple out of logic stuff that everybody does too, kind of at the beginning, like the extra check and paw print and the Jaboon's cave, and none of that did anything.
Yeah.
Slam would be so mad.
Yeah.
Grandma required.
The hardest require of all time.
And Greg.
Oh yeah, true. That was.
Oh yeah.
When you find 0 item and you find Greg.
There was just so much money. Everything was money. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And we didn't get the wallet till later, so.
Oh yeah, the Fire Mountain wallet.
Was that where it is? Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
Yep.
even remember. Wow. Cool.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't think anyone can hear you. I don't know, that's what they're saying.
Yes, I am so stupid. I forgot that unmuting myself on Discord doesn't unmute myself on OBS. Well, as I was saying, Woofer was, yeah, Woofer kind of ruined the awkward silence moment at first, but then proceeded to ping me. Now that you are in context, I can say GG's to Colfra again, and to Shizuka as well. Colfra, good luck on your future races. Now I have to read the schedule again. Today, in about an hour and a half, we have the Freaky Friday race for OOT. This weekend is not a Wind Waker randomizer takeover on CSR, which is kind of dance game and cringe, but okay, I guess we can handle it. We do have it pretty stacked. Anyways, we have a crowd control charity race tomorrow. Void versus Trash. You might want to watch that. That will be tomorrow at 7 a.m. I am not watching that. I'm so sorry. We have there's a tentative race for Challenge Cup Park of the Panda versus Randomizer, but we will confirm that later. Majora's Mask Standard weekly, and damn, it just loaded. I'm not gonna read through all of it, but it's just loaded. A huge shout out to everybody who assisted today, commentators, trackers, and runners. We had Wolfer CFG and Original Elijah, of course, and we had on trackers. I'm still unsure how to pronounce it, but they told me that I could pronounce it however I want. Kenny, and thank you so much for tracking as well. To Random Girl, absolute legends. They complain too much about stories without realizing that the chests are actually empty. And well, I think that would be it. Of course, a shout out to the runners, Colfra and Shizuka. GG's to both. And I think, okay, how can I make this more awkward? I don't think I should. I think I probably should end the stream. Well, everybody, thank you so much. We're gonna set up a raid and then leave. So we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
GG's everyone.
Bye.